Hi!
Hi.
Since this is the last video of 2020, I wanted to do something special. That means I needed to bring a special guest.
Oh gosh.
So I want to thank my husband for saying yes to being a special guest here on my YouTube channel. I might get more views if I have him on here.
Probably not.
And so what we have here is I've prepared 20 questions that we will answer throughout this video.
That's a lot.
Just to kind of walk us through what this year was like. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's get into it. Question 1. What is something we did this year that you think you will remember for the rest of your life?
Just one.
You answer first.
You go first. You're the special guest.
I asked the question.
You're the special guest.
Alright. The most special thing would have been when we had our first family photo.
At the ranch.
At the ranch. Yeah.
That moment was nice.
Yeah.
It rained a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, it did.
So for me, the first thing that I actually thought about was flying the middle of the pandemic. I remember just bringing 3-month-old Zion through the airport, and then Scarlett was, you know, was she 4 then?
She was.
Yeah, she was 4.
She was 4.
Wait.
No, she wasn't 4 yet. She was 3.
Yeah, she was 3.
And TSA stopped you.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you were.
I was flammable.
Yeah,
I was so hot.
So what happened was she was flammable. We were using hand sanitizer so we could get into the airport. The problem was she overdid it and put it all over her body.
On my hair.
And she
on
put
my
it
face.
on the baby's car seat, which was also flammable. And yeah, well, they stopped her, not me, not the kids, just her and the car seat.
I was really worried because they asked me, hey, do you work in some sort of like facility where you use chemicals and stuff
with
like
gas
that?
And stuff like
and I was
that.
like, no, I work from home. And they were asking me, so what sort of chemicals do you use at home? I was like, cleaning materials? It was Zion's first airplane ride.
Yeah, that's right.
You could change one thing that happened this year. What would it be?
The pandemic. If we could do this year all over again and suffer through the same challenges that we did, minus the pandemic, great, without, other people dying. Change the not dying, people not dying. Yeah, that's the only thing
you're
that
trying
I would
to be a
change.
superhero. This is really hard for me because I often just say I actually don't want to change anything about my life.
Yeah, that's true.
So for me to think about what I want to change, why are you looking at me like that?
I've been looking at the camera for a good 6 minutes now.
I
need to look at you now.
Okay. You want to give me ideas?
Nope.
This is really hard for me.
You're the one who wrote the questions.
I did actually. I just googled this. 20 questions to ask yourself at the end of the year. Maybe if there is one thing that I would change, now that Zion is 1 year old, I wish I was actually more hands-on with him like I was with Scarlett. You had more time with Zion.
Yes, I did.
Than I did.
Yes,
so
I
I think
did.
that's one thing I would change.
Thing that was hard for you at the start of the year, but is easy now. Working online. I did Amazon and I did a few things here and there, but nothing to the extent that I did this year.
You're amazing.
Okay, thanks.
You are.
Yeah, it was a very hard transition. Actually, it wasn't.
I know.
It wasn't hard at all. My page knows this about me. If there's something that I really want to do, that I really want to achieve, about 98% of the time I achieve it.
That's the 2%.
The other 2% is probably just me being laggard, being late. Other than that, I almost always do what I say I do, and whenever I set my mind to something, it always happens.
No one can change his mind. I can't even change his mind.
Yeah.
Now it's easier for me to actually just let it go. Like I completely trust everything is being provided as we need it, and almost with little to no effort.
What area do you feel you've made your biggest improvements?
Business, definitely. This year, I planned on not planning on my business. I planned on not, I actually was not planning on growing my business this year, but it grew massively. Like this was the year that it grew the most. And to think I did not even plan. Like literally, I entered this year just thinking, I'm just gonna focus on being a mom. And you know, we'll do little bits here and there for business, but God had other plans, you know?
Yeah, I think for me it was two things really. Two things. Patience.
But you're naturally good at it.
Yeah, but I got better this year.
Oh, good.
With two kids, you gotta be. Making a living, you know. I know we talk a lot about it, working from home and working online, and stuff like that. In the last 10 years since I've arrived in Canada, all of my work has been hands-on, very labor-intensive, cleaning toilets and, you know, stuff
Fun
like
fact.
that. Yeah, I used to clean toilets, was my first job. Delivering mail was also another job, very labor-intensive. That being said though, making a living isn't so difficult now. It's just a matter of managing your time and making sure that you're very disciplined.
Smart.
I guess, and smart and determined to really get to where you need to be.
And a coach beside you.
I wouldn't be where I am now if she didn't push me, right? Everything that I did by myself. But if she didn't push me, I wouldn't get to the next step. And that next step is always what's important.
Number 5, what was a new discovery you made this year? And what did you discover that you loved?
The struggle. The struggle of being a parent, the struggle of working from nothing to something. I think just the drudge of the challenge, having to go through it and actually succeed. I love that. I didn't actually love it before. Like if I could be the person that we could just skip this step and just be okay. We could just not discuss it. I would rather do that, but with having to go through all of the challenges of being a parent and making a living and performing your duties, especially with us at church, having to go through all that, I love a challenge. And I think I discovered that I love it more now than ever before.
It would be definitely, you know, as our kids get older, it's like you're discovering who they are. Because we're there to kind of guide them, kind of mold them, but I'm realizing now as a parent, kids are not blank states.
Not at all.
Not at all. I could really see that God had pre-planned who they are.
Yeah, that's right.
And just being a parent and discovering it with them is so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for example, for Scarlett, I really love the fact that she's super passionate about performing. Like,
Oh yeah.
like I thought I was passionate about performing, but this girl is on fire. This girl's on fire.
Almost
like,
all the time.
She's an absolute natural.
Yeah.
It's her gift. And Zion is super curious. Like he's just super curious and super brave. Frankly, like he's just one, but very independent, very interesting.
I love that about that this year too.
What was your favorite purchase of the year and why? Ooh!
I actually have an answer to that.
Yeah, me too. Okay, how about I answer it for you and then you answer what
Well,
my
I don't
favorite
want to
purchase-
do that.
Okay, fine.
I don't want to do that. 'cause
Okay,
you're-
fine. Okay.
You're gonna let everyone know that it's the Switch.
Which is...
It's not.
Oh, it's not?
It's actually not.
Oh, are you gonna say the painting or the...
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's actually not. My most favorite purchase of this year was the very first course that I took online.
Oh, okay.
I will never forget that because you're making money out of nothing. It's right. And the thing is, I keep talking about it only because it helps me have more time with my family. and eventually will help me have more time with everything else that I love to do, that I'm passionate about. With having that one purchase leads to so many things, and I will tell you this right now, if this video makes it to like 50 years from now, 40 years from now, education is an investment worth having. Invest in yourself.
I want to say though, not the traditional education. I mean, that can help too, but
I mean,
the world is changing. Education is so different now. For me, my favorite purchase is definitely my new laptop. Yeah, because for the past year in 2019, my old laptop, the letter N stopped working halfway. And so for like about 6 months, every time I needed to type letter N, I would copy and paste just to be able to type.
Yeah, actually, that sucked for a long
Yeah.
while.
Well, it was bearable. It was fine. But I'm so proud because not only did I buy a new laptop that I've already
Fully paid.
like it's fully paid,
Yeah.
and it's not like a cheapo laptop
Not at
too. And I'm super proud because the money that we used to pay for it, it's been returned like
Tenfold.
like over already. Like we've made a return on our investment.
That's
So
for sure.
I really am very proud of that.
Yeah.
Because normally, you know, my first ever laptop, and mind you, this is just my second laptop in my entire career or life, really.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite purchase.
Yeah. There's a second screen on it. She hasn't used it.
What was a new habit or routine you created this year that has improved your efficiency at home or work?
Meditation. I find that all of the work that I do inside or outside of the home, at church, or on my laptop when I'm working, it's always so streamlined. It's always so it's all easy to do when you meditate and you visualize how you get things done.
I'm actually gonna answer the same thing just because we actually started implementing meditation as a family. We want to raise our kids, you know, having healthy habits
Yeah.
that will be really good for them.
And well-intentioned people. We
yeah,
want them to
so-
be well-intentioned people.
Actually, what we did, so Scarlett, you know, she's 4 years old now, and for the longest time since she was born, she never really had a bedtime, right?
Nope.
She would just sleep whenever we all sleep. But what we did this year is we started implementing bedtime, but we wanted to make it fun and and unique. So we actually have a family meditation together, and that's sort of like their nap time routine or bedtime routine. So it's really nice because Scarlett knows how to meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you ask for help with this year where you're glad you did? Probably putting the kid through school. Yeah, because ever since Scarlett was born, we've always tried to figure out how we can have our time working or alone or just a minute to breathe. It's always difficult to find someone that you can trust to be able to help mold this strong will into something more useful.
Say the same thing. Unique twist for me would be when we had asked Sis Man to take care of the kids.
Oh yeah.
You
Very
know,
helpful.
as what JC mentioned, it really, as a parent, it's hard to find someone that you completely trust, where you can just leave your kids to them and you'll be comfortable and you'd be at peace. Sis Man, if you're watching this, we want to thank you so much because it really meant so much to our family when you took the time to take care of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I know the drive is far, but it
So
was
worth it.
Worth it.
And actually, I want to add something. We actually did not ask for this help, but I'm so glad we received this help. When we first moved into this place, the brethren in Sherwood Park were so kind. Honestly, we did not even have to ask. They offered. And I would say we've been moving since we've been married. We've been married for 7 years. We've been moving back and forth.
5 times now.
And the brethren in Sherwood Park are the first ones to actually offer
Yeah.
to help us out.
The most helpful people that we've ever had to not ask.
I mean, we had friends in Scarborough who helped out when we moved there, but
That's right.
like literally these people, we just moved, we don't know them, no history of relationships whatsoever, and they hauled their
Trucks.
and their
everything.
butts here to help us out. So we're super grateful.
Oh yeah, really grateful.
What relationship was the biggest positive surprise to you this year?
I think my relationship with my son, with Zion.
Don't cry now.
No. I've always wanted to have a son, and the thing is, when we prayed for a boy, we got a boy, and that only tells me the amount of trust that God has with us to be given such a gift, and more so that we have such a wonderful relationship with him. I'm glad that I'm gonna have that with him for the rest of his life.
So for me, I think perhaps the biggest surprise would be, should I say, like my very first coaching client? Because I was really surprised that this...
Terry?
Yeah, in case he's watching this video.
He probably will.
I was actually really surprised that he decided to reach out again and work together again.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's a different dynamic. So
Yeah.
for me, that was a unique surprise. Yeah,
That's
I would
true.
say.
That's true.
Yeah. Number 10,
10.
halfway
Wow.
there.
Finally.
Who do you need to thank for their role in your life this year? First person that came to my mind is Kristen Molinar. So I want to thank Kristen and I actually had this heart-to-heart conversation with her already. But Kristen, if you're watching this, I want to thank you so much for believing in me, for giving me space and room to grow when I was with you in Yes Boss. You also actually contributed to why JC is succeeding online now.
That I'm thankful for their role in our lives this year. Ricardo, his family. He was the first one to reach out to us when he found out that we came. I think without him, we wouldn't have such stable and good relationships with the people at the locale we're at. And you know, he really did care for us. He's the one who actually arranged the whole helping us at moving out to our new place. He's the one who drove all the way from Fort Saskatchewan all the way to Tofield.
I have to thank Kajanet.
Yeah, and Kajanet, and you know, their family is just a wonder to behold. I'd like to say thank you very much for the two of you. Without you, I don't think we would be the way we are now in this
I
locale.
agree. What's a skill you have gained confidence in this year?
Parenting.
Delegation for sure, and to trust other people to do things for you. So I want to thank Rochella, Mikey, Joanna, all of my Yes Boss family, Red, Goldie, Janelle. This is gonna be a long lineup,
Just
but
run the credits.
I want you to know that I am super grateful for you guys.
12. We're nearly there.
What's
What
a
simple pleasure have you especially enjoyed this year?
I actually really find pleasure being in Tofield. Is that weird? I don't know, so that's the first thing. Kind of lame, right?
A little bit.
Okay, can I change my answer?
Nope.
Okay,
we
I
already
really-
recorded.
okay, I like-
It's already here. What are you talking about?
I like seeing the lights. Oh gosh, please don't. Oh, should I change my answer?
Backstory.
This is like
so basically,
my safety curtain.
she loves light shows. So she likes lights of every kind. Doesn't matter what they are. So this town used to be a very dead town. The only lights that you'll see are the
Lampposts.
fluorescent bulbs of the lampposts outside. Recently, they installed a lot more decorations, which included lights. And now she likes
They're
those
really
lights.
pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
The simple pleasure that I especially enjoyed this year was just being quiet. Silence.
Lame.
It's shut up. It's enjoyable. You know, when they're already asleep and oh my god. And I have my time alone at night and I'm gonna either go to work or start to unwind or both at the same time. Just being in the silence.
What did you change your mind about this year?
Schofield was boring. That actually is so much more boring than I thought. No, actually, this is a nice place. I'm
Actually, it is a
quite
really nice
surprised.
place, yeah.
There's a water park over here.
Yeah, we're kidding me, and
There's-
it's free.
They've got a ton of.
They've got really good pizza.
Yeah, like pizza places, ice cream places. They've got a Tim's now.
It's actually pretty nice.
It's also quiet, and you know, people are actually quite kind here.
I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I used to think that this was a very boring redneck ghost town,
Yeah.
and now it's no longer a boring redneck ghost town. It's a very pleasurable redneck town.
We thanks because I changed my mind a lot.
She does. Don't
So-
ever go shopping with her. It's horrible.
I rebranded to like focus on the Filipino niche, and then I've changed my mind about that again, just because of the results after Elevate Filipino TV. The mission and the heart is still there, but pretty much just really focusing and owning on being a business coach. You know,
What did you try that didn't work out, but the process of trying moved your thinking forward in a helpful way?
Most of the stuff that I did worked out. So I don't have anything that didn't work out.
You gotta find something.
Everything worked out.
confidence. Boom, 100.
I told you earlier, I don't do anything that I don't intend on finishing. Everything that I've ever done
You're right.
worked
You're
out.
right. I mean, as long as you really stick to it, it's gonna eventually work out.
That's how I work.
For me, I think I mentioned it. It's like the whole Elevate Filipino thing. I think it did not work out, at least in the way that I expected it. Yeah. Moving on. How did your self-perception change this year? In what ways have you started to see yourself more positively than you did previously?
It's actually quite difficult to mention, but I used to think that most of the stuff that I say or do, they don't really matter. Yeah, like I used to think that about myself, that, at least within myself, I used to think, it doesn't, man, why are you talking? Just finish and let someone else talk. But that's changed this year. I'm a little bit more forgiving of myself if there's something that I don't, that I don't always achieve at the height that I want to achieve it. And it's brought me a little bit more positivity. It's difficult to say, but yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah.
Oh, I want you to know, sweetheart,
Mhm.
your voice matters. No, I meant like your voice, your opinion matters. I highly value it. That's why I invite you and stuff like this. That's why I'm like bugging you to start a podcast with me. Because it matters.
We'll probably do it.
So I want you to know it matters. If you want to hear more from JC, leave it in the comments below. Okay. I think before I thought I was not really good at being generous, but I was confusing it with just having a good set of boundaries.
Oh,
So
yeah.
someone actually clarified that. A friend of mine, actually, it's one of my clients. Janet actually told me, Paige, you're not selfish. You're actually very generous. You just have healthy boundaries. What is the best thing you did for someone else this year?
That's question 16, right? Oh, it's a small thing. I gave out notebooks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love doing that because backstory. Ever since I became a member of the Church of Christ, I've been writing down all of the verses and all of the questions and all of the answers during the worship services and even Bible studies when I can. And I have had 7 or 8 notebooks. I don't remember. I lost the first 2. I gave away the third one. I do remember that. But I gave away notebooks. I wanted to inspire everyone else who I thought would make a good fit to write down those verses, to write down those important messages from God in the Bible, so just so that they can remember it. Because a lot of the times when you just listen to something, it goes through the other ear. And if you're writing it down, even if it does, at least it's written down, you can't forget it.
It was nice to actually send out cards.
All right.
I don't know if we're just getting old, but we
are.
started sending like snail mail cards to people we worked with, you know, people we collaborated with, and it's such a nice feeling. You might think, like, if you receive cards like that, you might think, oh, it's like I'm one of many, right? As the person who did that, like, I actually curated every single message.
Every single card.
But we actually put you in our mind for, you know,
Even for just a few
yeah,
moments.
individually. So I
Yeah.
think it really means a lot. So even for our friends who would send us cards, thank you.
Yeah.
Favorite place you visited this year?
Calgary. That's easy. Calgary. Love that place. If there's any of the Calgarians, the brethren that are there who see this video, hi. Your place is my favorite place. At least it's our favorite place.
Yeah.
That's the very first actual home that we've had.
Or not really.
yeah,
We've had
yeah.
other homes.
We've had other homes, but,
it's
this one,
the city that feels like home.
yeah, and this one is a place where we really had to rely on ourselves. And
I would say, I mean, I love Calgary. Like, I keep telling JC, I want to move
Retire.
there again. What I'm going to say is my favorite place that I visited would be Drumheller. It actually was such a big surprise. So, I've lived in Alberta from the Philippines. I moved here. I've been here a really long time. But whenever my friends or my mom would say, hey, let's go to Drumheller, I'm like, dinosaurs? Why? Like, I was like, dinosaurs? Why? No way. But we went there this year.
we actually
And
enjoyed it.
it was such a pleasant surprise. It felt like I was in a totally different world. Like, it did not feel like Alberta. You know, like, honestly, I thought it was a totally different place.
Different dimension.
Really love it. Yeah. We love it so much we actually returned already. Like, we visited it twice this year.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
You did.
And it's like 4 hours from where we are,
So
by the way.
I really love it. Yeah. Best advice you received this year.
I can't remember a specific advice that I received this year that I think would be the best. Hold on.
Is that just for this year?
Yes.
No way.
And
the thing is, they're actually filled from the first page all the way to the back.
understand that when you ask me the best advice I received this year for myself, it's a collection of advice, right? I am not kidding. Every single service is right here. This best advice I received this year, I can't tell you, because whatever it is that I received and is written in these notebooks, I'm probably living it now. And if you ask me what advice I could give you, depending on the situation, I will take from this notebook and give it to you. But nothing that is especially very the best.
So attend
from-
worship service to get a good advice.
Pretty much.
My answer to this question is also from a worship service, and I think this is like an ongoing theme for 2020. So obviously, you know, we have an understanding of why we go through struggles and hardships. But I remember this one worship service where they really described why, even as believers, as members, you know, we go through struggles in life. And basically what it was, you know, every single struggle that we're going through, it's spiritual refinement. And for me, like, now that I correlate challenges, struggle, hardship with spiritual refinement, it actually, you know, that verse where they say, you know, be glad or joyful about having challenges,
Oh, that's Apostle Paul.
right? So now I get it. I get it why Apostle Paul can be joyful in the midst of trials.
Yeah.
because he's realizing that this is spiritual refinement for him, and it's actually for your favor,
Yeah.
right?
It's for your own good.
It's for your own good. And so for me to learn that this year on a deeper level, like I feel like I've known it, you know, obviously being a Christian and being a member of the church, we've known it for like within us, but I think I've learned it at a deeper level this year. One great compliment you received this year.
A great compliment I received this year was actually several times I've been called someone's mentor.
I remember Scarlett saying, "Mommy, you're my number one mommy." And that's like the best compliment.
I'm okay being number 2.
What or whom, this is the last question, guys. Thank you for surviving this video.
Yeah, I don't know
So-
why you did that, but thanks.
Hey, maybe this is good info. Or maybe it's just playing in the background, they're actually not watching. Or they actually find it
Very helpful.
fun. What or whom are you most thankful for this year? I think it's simple. I am super grateful for God. I just think that the years of struggle that we've had, you know, really helped us get to this place where we are right now and thrive. Like, honestly, I'm super grateful because during the pandemic, we're in a place where we get to help and give to other people. You know, we've been in the receiving end of asking for help, receiving help from other people. But this year, I believe God positioned us so that we can be a helping hand, you know, His extension of His helping hand. And we would not be where we are just without His favor. So, very simple and easy to answer.
I think I have 3.
Just one.
Oh, come on. I'll still answer 3.
Okay.
I think number 1 would be you. You pushed me to just be better this year. Yeah, I think
You want the kids?
yeah. Without her, I think I wouldn't be where I am. I think you're my biggest blessing ever. I think the second one would be that I would be most thankful for would be Kaeman, Espanol. He was with me 2015 and he's with us up to now. He constantly and consistently gives me advice at the right time, the right advice at the right moments, with the right temperament, with the right amount of love. And I'd have to say this year I would probably not be better off now. Okay. Thank you, family, sister, and to the kids. Last, I'd like to thank God for sending ministers our way to take care of us, to visit us in our home, to give us advice, to be patient with us, to be diligent in following up with us. And shout out to Ka Voltaire, Ka Eugene, Ka RB, and of course Ka Jo. Well, I can't.
Why? I'm super grateful for him.
I am actually very
Yeah.
grateful that he visited us all the way from the
You know what?
Philippines.
So he truly cared.
Yeah.
Because there was not just that, how are you, and chit chatter. There was that spiritual
A
advice,
spiritual
which
compassion.
is really important
Oh,
when it comes to, you know, just
Yeah.
with everything. With
yeah.
everything.
I am really glad that he visited us the night before our Thanksgiving.
Thank you for you.
Oh. You can continue that when I'm done. I think despite the
I'll
challenges.
thank you another way.
Thank you. I think despite the challenges this year, the most important lesson that we can take away from 2020 is be thankful no matter what. Be thankful no matter what. I think it's true though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Perfect. That's it, guys. Ciao, ciao.